folks, how we doing? I'm trying out something new here, and I would love to hear in the comments what you think. I kind of wanted to try today to make a list of my top 5 favorite kind of hidden gem resorts. They're not on the Epic Pass, they're not on the Ikon Pass, but they are in the area, in the Rockies. And you know, if you do have an Ikon or Epic, you can do what I did this last season, and you can basically set up home base in the main ski town, like Jackson, for instance, or Taos. Yeah, you do your day at the big fancy place, but you know, you spend like one day poking around, maybe a couple days trying a couple resorts. Anyway, back to the list. So number 5, not really on most people's radar, but it ought to be, just as it's a great little hidden gem. So the mountain is Snow King in Jackson, Wyoming. That is in Jackson, the actual town, not Jackson Hole, which is about, I don't know, 15 minutes away. But I'll tell you, that town of Jackson is where you want to stay. You can get, yeah, I mean, not cheap lodging, but not terrible either compared to like right on the mountain of Jackson Hole. Snow King, if you look at photos of Jackson, it's that ski resort that's like right on top of the town. That's what I loved about it. We actually walked from our hotel to Snow King. It just skis on our back. You know, it felt really cool to do that. You can even keep your boots on and just walk down the street, go to a brewery or something. Another thing I love about Snow King is it almost feels like a public park. Like, it's not quite, but like the parking for the resort actually is public parking. The town's right up there, so I mean, it just has this down home local vibe, and the terrain is actually really solid. It doesn't, if you look at the map, it doesn't look like much, but that can be deceiving. They've got this awesome intermediate back bowl. They've got some pretty darn steep bump runs. I was there earlier season, like early January, about a week before the area got a real snow for the first time. So, you know, conditions weren't awesome, but I found a lot of cool lines, and you know, just the culture, just the vibe. Highly recommend Snow King. Number 4, boy, I'll tell you, I could list a ton of mountains in New Mexico. We did a trip where we basically tried to hit every mountain in the state. We missed a couple, but this is one I had never been to before. This one is similar to Snow King in that it's all about the town that is like right on top of. I mean, you Google image this, do it. Like, open up another tab. It's so cool. The mountain is Red River, New Mexico. Red River Ski Resort. I went there with a couple brand new, like total newbie skiers, and they had a pretty solid beginner zone. Really good bunny hill. But what I loved about it is just how the mountain is built. It's just like built right on top of the town. Like, across the street from where the snow stops is a really cool saloon kind of thing. There's like a brewery a block away that is like one of the coolest breweries I've seen, honestly. It's in this awesome little kind of canyon, and it's tucked in there, and I just love it. The skiing itself didn't blow my mind. I mean, but also I was there during spring break. You know, it's not ideal in New Mexico. The season's shorter. That's one I would want to see. I'd want to try that again in February. But I just love how the mountain's built. They have these really cool kind of switchbacks that it's just gorgeous. Pretty diverse terrain. I did this one run that I loved that was like half bump run, half tree run. It's a super cool mountain. Number 3 is probably not on anybody's radar. If you're not from northern Colorado or southern Wyoming specifically, you probably haven't heard of this place. But Snowy Range in Wyoming. Snowy Range. It's just outside of Laramie. It's really the big selling point if you're in northern Colorado is that it's like a guaranteed solid exactly 2-hour drive from most places. Really, it just seems to shake out that way. And it is guaranteed no traffic. You don't deal with the I-70 just nonsense. I mean, you can pretty much count on spending 5 hours getting home anymore during high season. Snowy Range is a pretty small mountain. If you look the trail map up, it ain't much on paper, but in practice it is super cool. And it's the thing I love about it is it's a really good place for like beginner intermediates to step it up, dip their toe into some slightly more advanced terrain, not too crazy. There are some really cool, really just unique bump runs, but they really aren't that hard. There's a lot of black runs that really would be blues in other mountains. And the thing about Snowy Range is it gets Wyoming snow. It has generally conditions are pretty good. It can be a tad windy, but there's no shortage of snow. They closed April. Like at the booth, it was $49. And the value is insane. Also, something that I'm crazy about, it has really good tree skiing and like a bunch of different difficulty levels. Really cheap lessons, really cheap ticket, big value, pretty solid snow. Check out Snowy Range. Now, number 2, been my mainstay since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. Loveland Ski Resort in Colorado. People always make the mistake, because I used to live in Loveland, Colorado, and that's like 2 hours away. It's not even on I-70, it's up north. You have done I-70 right as you get up on the tunnel. Loveland is the resort. It's basically wrapped around the Eisenhower Tunnel. It's like on top of the tunnel. It's right on the Continental Divide, which means it is stunning. The views are incredible. Loveland is just such a solid resort. You want to talk about somewhere where you can really push yourself. It has everything. It's got some just disgustingly steep bump runs on the front. You can do bowl skiing at the green, blue, black, double black level. They have this super sick green called Fire Bowl above tree line that can be a really good place to get that kind of experience big mountain skiing, a little bit of kind of like free riding. That it's just a super chill cruiser. They have really good blue tree runs. They have blue chutes. Actually, Loveland is a great place if you're an intermediate skier, if that's where you like to live. Really, oh gosh, I could rattle off a bunch of runs, but the South chutes, Nix Knox on the front side is like, that's where I learned how to bump ski. It could be a black. A lot of these other mountains I mentioned, that would be a black run. Like on the more advanced side, gosh, they've got wonderful expert terrain. If you haven't heard of the Ridge, check it out. It's readings from 13,000 feet on the Continental Divide. I'm on the Ridge at Loveland. Just look out there, that's Keystone, and in the distance, that's Breck. This snow right here, when it melts off, it's going to go to the Gulf of California. This snow is going to go to the Gulf of Mexico, and right there is the Continental Divide, right on top of you guys. Pretty sweet. And you are way up there. You are very exposed, and you're literally, as you're getting to your bowl, you're hiking along the Continental Divide, like right on the line. Super cool opportunity. In recent years, they've started doing a snow cat, to get access to some of the more remote bowls that used to be, 2 hours, an hour and a half of hiking. Kind of hard to justify that. They have really, really nasty trees, like extreme terrain trees, the east and west ropes. But let me tell you, I mean, it's so gnarly. It's so steep. There's like cliffs. There's a wide range of terrain, and it's like you're looking right at I-70 the whole time. It's bizarre. And then the whole, like the far backside, chair 8 has great, I'd say, you know, some are blues, some are blacks, but I'd call it like blue black, kind of like Parson Bowl at Winter Park. Big mountain, exposed, skiing in the right conditions. It's awesome. Loveland is usually one of the last places. It tends to be the first open. It doesn't close last. A-Basin has that honor, but I'll tell you, they hang on. One last cool thing about Loveland, if you go down the backside, they have this sick little run that takes you to a tunnel, so you can like ski or hike under I-70, which, you know, it's just a unique experience. And yeah, Loveland, big bang for the buck, longtime favorite. Number 1 was a mountain I almost didn't go to. It was barely on my radar, barely on anybody's radar. It's just a tiny little hamlet of a ski resort. I just can't recommend it enough, especially if you're a big time tree skier. If you like that kind of, yeah, single black diamond or double diamond trees, this is the mountain for you. So number 1 on my list for the whole season, my number 1 mom and pop ski resort is Sipapu in New Mexico. Sipapu, I think it's Sipapu. I'm not sure. I just got used to calling it Sipapu. My bad. It's a really cool mountain park. The lodge is just basically an open room. You know, the cafe is super stripped down and basic. The facilities are almost nothing, and I love that. Then you actually cross this like gorgeous stream. You go over a bridge to get to the ski lift. Decent snow, some decent terrain, but like the tree skiing is off the chain. It's like half the mountain almost, it feels like anyways, double black tree runs. I really liked Wormwood, everything on that side. It's a really solid zone. You just can't do wrong. I also loved Disorder, or what was that? I can't remember what that run was called. I just loved how open it felt. I did not wait in a line the whole day during spring break on a powder day. I had it to myself. I got in with my Loveland pass, but it was like 50 or 60 bucks. And for that money, you don't find inbound tree skiing like of that quality. Honestly, even with mediocre snow quality, I would still love to be there. I happened to catch a pretty good powder day in the spring, but I absolutely loved Sipapu. I'm gonna give like one quick special prize, miscongeniality or something. It's just really near and dear to me. It's the first mountain I ever skied, Granby Ranch in Grand County. Not easy to get to by any means, but you are rewarded. You really don't have crowds. It's 1,000 vertical feet. Yeah, not wonderful, but if you're skiing with beginners, you're trying to do like a group ski trip, this is your spot. Condos with hot tubs in them are like a third of the price that they are in Winter Park, half an hour down the road. Granby's a cute little area, and the Granby Ranch area is like semi-private, so it's really tucked in there. I learned to ski there. As a million good entry-level runs, but also some pretty awesome advanced terrain. You got to look for it. I really recommend hitting the trees though. Trees between the runs. Particularly if you go, the trees nearby Easy Money have some really cool terrain. If you go down the advanced side, go left off the lift, just drop right in the first patch of trees you see, and you are rewarded. There's even some cool little cliff shots. There's a range of terrain. Now, what I like about Granby Ranch altogether is you got that Colorado snow, you got that powder, but what I also like about it really suits most difficulty levels. If you're an expert, this isn't really going to be your place. You can definitely enjoy the trees though. And again, the snow, when it's good, it is really good. It's Grand County good. A lot of my other videos have been shot in Grand County, and that's why. It's my favorite place in Colorado. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you have been inspired to kind of get off the beaten path. Even if you are hitting one of those big mountains, just pop it in to the smaller joints, giving them a shot. Paying, instead of paying $300, pay $100 or less. There's a lot of good stuff to be found, and you can really avoid the crowds. At any rate, I think I'm gonna do another video similar to this about my top 5 Ikon Pass mountains. If you enjoyed this, if you hated it, if you are lukewarm, if you're indifferent, well, it's amazing that you made it this far. But I would love to hear in the comments what you want to see more of, or what you want to see none of. I'm trying to build this channel. It's going to be a long climb, but really my goal is just to make quality content, and you can help me with that. So thank you. Keep watching. Share, give it a like, comment, subscribe, share, bell, do that, engage, and I'll catch you on the next one.